Welcome everybody, welcome to the Baldcafe podcast. This is episode 2. If this is your first time listening, the Baldcafe is a movement that I started and it's 100% devoted to helping guys who are going bald. And this movement helps them get through that balding confidently and bravely. Now, we've got the YouTube channel, there is Baldcafe, we've got the Instagram at Baldcafe, and we've now got the podcast. And I want to talk a little bit more about the podcast, why I'm doing the podcast. Because for me, when I first started going bald, one of the biggest things that helped me was listening to other guys talk about their own balding stories, talk about how they felt and how they got through it. And so I decided to start this podcast and do interviews with like-minded people like myself to share their own stories. And I really think it's gonna help a lot of guys out there. So I am so proud to introduce Dan to this podcast, episode 2. Hello Dan, how's it going?
Not bad, thank you very much, mate. How are you?
Good, I'm very good. So we are here in China, Dan. We both live out here in China. First of all, just tell me really quickly, how did that happen for you? How did you end up here in China?
So, I was disillusioned at home with working after graduating and stuff. I was bouncing around from sort of job to job. I was a tree surgeon for a little bit.
Oh,
and
nice.
I was a estate agent for a little bit. And then I worked at Kent University for a little while. And I had 2 friends who were already living here in Chongqing, had a spare room, could hook me up with a job teaching, so I just took the plunge and been here ever since.
Nice, okay. Good. And how old are you now?
25.
You're 25, okay,
I look
good.
45, but...
You look 45, but you're 25, right. Dan, let's get straight into it, right? Let's talk about the balding.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first noticed that something wasn't quite right with the hair?
Well, I think probably from about, honestly, probably as young as about 16, 17 maybe.
Wow.
I knew I had thin hair, or my hair was thinner. My brother has like literally the same hair as what I did, but his was just thicker.
Right.
So much thicker, and that was what it was. And like when I used to do my hair when I was a kid and stuff like that, we do terrible hairstyles and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to use like the clay,
right?
You know, the clay stuff.
Yeah. Every
time I do it, I'd like go to wash my hands. I just have hands lined with hair.
Wow.
And stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I knew that was when it was going. And then when I was at university, I like grew my hair, but my hairline was just falling back anyway. But I grew my hair out, and yeah, I think in the end, it just got to the point where I was just like, I don't know. I'm tired of trying to hide it or just hold on to it. So before it got too bad, I just did it.
Shaved it off. Right, so yeah, you said before when you were like 16 you used to style it.
Yeah, all the
just
time.
You know, put that clay in there and style it. And that was that the first thing you noticed when you would style your hair? The hair would be on your hands.
Yeah.
What about like in the shower washing your hair, or like you know, on the pillow? Would you notice that as well?
No,
it was
no.
just that.
When I had hair, I was hella fair.
Right.
My hair was so fair that you couldn't really see it. Like I've got hair.
Yeah. Like really light blonde.
Like really light
blonde hair.
It looked like MLM peroxide, but natural.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Right, and so you first noticed that it was falling out, and I want to know how did you were young, right? So were you? How did you feel? How did you feel about it when you first sort of noticed and you thought, is my hair falling out?
Well, I think at that point I was still so young that I didn't necessarily realise what it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as I got older, and then this is what I mean. So for a long time, it was just that I had thin-ish hair compared to like my friends or my brother or whatever, and my hairline was just a little bit back. You know, like where you get the
widow's peak.
Yeah, the McDonald's arches.
They
just fall further and further back.
Yeah.
That was it. But the long hair covered it up for a little while, and then I shaved it, and it was not shaved it, but like, I had a shorter style and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then it just got to the point where like the hairline was falling further and further back, and then basically like now it's got to a point. It's essentially like if I was to grow it, it'd just have a little island of just patchy
in the middle
thin hair, like right here. Yeah. And when it got to the point where like I still had a fringe, but like I could just feel it was hella thin. I was just like, it's time
to get it off. Yeah, because I can see that you've got.
You can see it.
Yeah.
I purposely didn't go and shave my head.
Oh, so I could
have a
see
haircut or anything like that.
Oh, okay,
This is me
nice.
after about a week.
Awesome. Okay.
Same with a beard.
So how long do you usually shave it? Every day or?
No. I would now shave it when it gets to about this length.
Yeah.
If I can pinch it,
Oh, okay, it's time to shave it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can see that you're thin here, but here is thick at the back there, super thick.
Like I got double crown.
Yeah, which is different to me. I first started going bald at the crown, but my hairline was solid. Like literally nothing was going on my hairline.
The first time I met you, you had a banging set.
Yeah, my hair here there was nothing wrong with it, but just here at the crown was super thin, and I was so self-conscious about it. And so, how about talk in your family? You say your brother had similar hair to you, but much thicker.
Yeah.
What about dads, uncles? What sort of?
So my dad's side of the family is really quite small.
Yeah.
So it's literally my dad and his cousin and his wife, and then obviously like my dad's family with us. And my dad was bald. Well, he's got the horseshoe,
same as my dad. And was that from?
And same with my well, I call him my uncle, but
yeah.
my cousin, like
right.
On my dad's side, has the same thing. But then on my mum's side, like I never met my mum's dad, so I don't know. But her brother, so my uncle, I think he's like in his 50s, late 50s. He's got a solid head of hair still.
Right, still, okay.
Yeah.
So mainly the balding on your sort of dad's side of the family, possibly.
I assume so, because my granddad had like the horseshoe as well, but he kind of had, you know, like the old man kind of like they comb it over a little bit, like just when you get to that age where you have no shame. Yeah,
my granddad's similar. He had the horseshoe on the go, but he actually wore a wig, and I mentioned in another one of my videos. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
Like I never knew that he had this wig until, like I said in the video, I would see him at night time. And he would look different, and I could never understand what it was.
Yeah.
And then I went in early morning, and I saw he had this little wig. Well, so it's toupee, right? Because it's just this little middle part.
The thing that just sits on.
Yeah. And it was on this like doll's head, this like fake head, and it was it was crazy.
Yeah.
But my dad, like for as long as I was alive. You know, from when I was born, always, the same, rocked this horseshoe. Yeah. My mum would cut his hair, and it would be like long. It wouldn't be like buzzed, you know, it would be like a sort of an inch long horseshoe. And is your dad got a similar?
Nah, he will. He completely will just shave his head.
But now it's a shaved head.
But it gets to the point again where I don't know how often he goes for a haircut or anything like that. But you'll see him rocking the horseshoe more often than not. But like he will shave his head. Yeah. Like regularly. Yeah.
So right.
That was like a bonding thing we used to do when I first shaved my head. Like, I'd be like, Dad, come and
he would shave your head.
And I'd shave his.
Oh no, awesome. Yeah. And so when you first, your hair started falling out, and how did you? I want to know how you felt about it. You said you were really young, and so you didn't kind of acknowledge it. You just thought, oh, it's a thing, right? So there wasn't like a one day suddenly like, oh my god, I'm gonna go bald.
No.
Or it was just a gradual.
No, it's like I went to an all boys school, so
right.
It was just like. You can't really offend me anymore because I heard all the horrible stuff from all my friends all the time.
Right.
So when they be like, oh, your hairline this, your hairline that.
Yeah.
I've got one of my other friends who's got a receding hairline as well, but he's still got a thick head of hair too. Right. But he's just got a receding hairline. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Because for me, right, this is I didn't really worry about going bald, and then it happened, and so when I found out I'm going bald, it was like. I felt horrible. Like I thought everything was going to change.
Yeah.
But was there ever a time that you like worried about it, or you felt insecure about it, or just never?
Not really. I mean, I mean that's probably a lie. Probably when around the time I graduated or something. I think I must have been around 21 or whatever. When it was getting to the point where like I've been dealing this for like at this point like, going on like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was like it wasn't. Like my hair was literally like falling out. I'll wake up and like my head's on the pillow or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were just like little times where I'd see it and stuff like that, or like if I dry my hair too hard or something, like I might see some hair on the on like the towel or whatever, but it wouldn't actually just fall out.
Yeah.
But
and so from the young age of like 16 to like when did you say you shaved your head? 20, 21. Did you ever try to like hide it, or were always wearing hats, or did you ever look into any of these like treatments to?
No, I've never looked at treatments.
Yeah.
I would look at treatments sometimes when celebrities would get it done. I remember when Wayne Rooney got his hair transplant.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
I remember finding it funny and looking into it because I'm pretty sure they took the hair sample from his arse cheek.
Right.
I'm 90% sure.
Okay, I don't know if that's true or not.
But I just thought that was.
We'll look into it.
Quite funny. So I was like, I'll look into that because I'm a hairy dude anyway. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you never looked into any of that. See, that's quite. I'm surprised at that. I mean, it's good. It's a different type of experience. I guess everyone experiences hair loss differently. I would wear
hats and stuff like that, but it
wasn't to
hide it. It was like to accessorize.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And did you ever, with like girls and stuff like that, were you ever like self-conscious about it, that you had this like thinning hair, or just
no? My self-consciousness came from I was a pretty fat kid,
right? So you had other things to worry about more than your hair.
So like when I went to university, university was when I actually started to lose a lot of weight. At my heaviest, so I'm talking from probably about 15, 16, 17 up to around the age of 18. At my heaviest, I'm pretty sure I weighed like 125 kg. I was big, that was what I worried about.
Yeah, you worried about that.
Not so much worried about or whatever. Like that was my insecurity.
That was the main one, right? Yeah. See, that's interesting, because I talk about for me, when I was going bald, that was like my main issue for that short period of time.
Yeah.
But luckily for me, I'd already been going to the gym and stuff, and so. But I know that I get a lot of messages from other guys, and they say to me like, "Oh, it's all right for you, like you look good bald, and I'm fat and out of shape and bald, like my life's over." And so I think what point am I trying to make? It's one thing to deal with going bald, but it's another thing entirely to deal with like all those insecurities. So I think you did quite well then. If it wasn't like an extra thing that added to your other insecurities.
I think it's another. I think it comes down to your personality and your character as well. Like, if you're one of them people that's kind of like you bump into things, but you just pull yourself up and you carry on.
Yeah.
Like, then it's just another one of them things. It's just part of life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the way that I think about it sometimes is kind of like it's kind of like a brain sprain.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're worried about something, address it and sort it out.
Yeah.
If you sprain your ankle when you're running, you wouldn't keep running on it.
Yeah.
You sit on it for you chill out for a bit, let it rest,
address
let it heal, and you address it.
Yeah.
And for me, that's exactly the same thing. I think you can compare that to going bald, being fat and trying to lose weight, or go to the gym and get more tone, or whatever it is. Like, everyone's got their own insecurities and everyone deals with them in their own ways. And
but for you had the personality, you're kind of strong charactered enough to just deal with it, right? What I mean,
like, so where I said earlier, like, I went to an all boys school. Like, it was a great school. I'm not trying to discredit or anything, but their view on like bullying was like, it's not bullying, it's character building.
Right.
And at the time, I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
And I'm not like in the more PC culture of today and everything. That's probably not the right way to talk about it or look at it. But it really helped me.
Yeah.
Because you just can't, it's very hard to offend me. Or
like a tough love approach.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, it's about taking any of your weaknesses and making them your strength.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, I think I had a similar thing. I mean, I didn't go to an all boys school, but my sort of upbringing was a similar sort of thing. I mean, again, we said our experience was slightly different, but I turned to my dad, when I found out that I was going bald, and I sent him a message, obviously because I'm here in China, and I just said like, I'm going bald, like I found out I'm going bald, like what did you do, like what, I don't know what to do, I feel horrible. And he just said, there's plenty of worse things that could be happening 100%. To you. There's nothing you can do about it. Just get on with it. And at the time, that was not what I was looking for. That was not the advice I was after. But now looking back on it, it's the right advice. And
it's just kind of an aesthetic, isn't it?
Exactly.
Having a beard or not having a beard.
Exactly.
Or having tattoos or not having tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just, or like for girls, like wearing makeup or not wearing makeup.
Yeah.
In some instances,
And I think it's hard for people to hear, because like me in that situation, I wanted people to kind of like mollycoddle me, and oh, it's going to be fine, like don't worry about it. You can do this, but it's not what you need. Yeah, you're totally right.
So I just want to jump back to you saying about like, when you found out you were going bald, and obviously like you were here, and you contact your dad back at home.
Yeah.
Like, it happened to me when I was still in England. I still had like my friends around me, my family around me, or whatever.
Yeah.
And kind of living in normality to a point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like having that support around you.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas like you're kind of more on your own now.
Yeah, for sure.
You have more time and more space to think about it in your head and make things and exacerbate things.
Yeah, and it's different. I think even I know there's different cultures and they accept going bald differently. Because I mean, the general consensus here is, there must be something wrong with you. You're 20 something, you're going bald. You must be not eating right, or you're not healthy, or some people don't quite understand the reasons behind it.
I think a lot of it's genetics. If
you
look at like
100%,
living here in China, like Chinese guys just have like, and even women, their hair is, by the majority of them, so thick.
Yeah. That is a thing actually. I looked into the Asians, right? The life cycle of their hair, for us, the hair follicle grows the hair is something but like 3 to 4 years, the life cycle of the hair. But in Asian people, it's like 7 to 8 years. So their hair is thicker and lasts longer than ours would.
But then you look at the genetics in that way as well, in terms of beards.
Yeah.
You seldom see them.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's interesting.
And if you do, they'll more likely be straggly than having a kind of coverage.
Definitely.
Or like they won't get the cheeks and they'll just have a neck beard, or just like a few strands, a really long goatee or something.
Yeah, it's 100% genetics on that point. So, I mean, let's talk about the beards then, right? So you're 16, you decide to shave your head. I'm assuming you don't have a beard at 16.
No, I didn't shave my head at 16. I shaved my head.
Oh, sorry, 20, yeah.
Like 2021.
I forget that.
It was after I graduated university, so I was 21. Yeah.
And did you look to anyone for advice, or did you? Is that something you just decided to do yourself? What was the like catalyst that made you finally say, okay, enough's enough, I'm going to shave it off?
Well, at the time, to kind of set the scene a little bit, I was still basing a lot of my time where I went to university in Canterbury, but I was working there. So I lived in a little village called Ash with one of my friend's older brothers.
Right.
And he used to own a barber shop in Margate, and he was my hairdresser for quite some time. And he actually cut all of our hair, like me and my friends, or he did all of our hair.
Yeah.
And I was living with him at the time. And like I said, like it'd been something that like not been weighing on me, but it's something that I was definitely thinking about for a while.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I'd started growing my beard, so I had my beard, and I think, in retrospect, I can't 100% say for sure that this was why I did it, but I think even at least subconsciously I started to grow the beard because I knew at some point I was going to shave my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't just want to look a ball bag with teeth.
Yeah.
So
an egg.
So I started to grow the beard, and then once it got to a certain length that I was just like, all right, cool, I can embrace this now. I said to my friend Lloyd when I was living with him, like, look, can you just shave my head?
Yeah.
And I'd spoken to him about this before, and I'd spoken to my mum about it before as well, and I think I'd spoken to my dad too, and he was like, just do it. My mum was like, don't do it. And then because my friend Lloyd like knew my parents as well, and like their views on it, he didn't want to shave my head. Right. And he was just like, nah, I'm not going to do it because of your mum. And I was just like, just shave my head. Like, I'm paying you, like, just do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To be fair, I can't even remember if I paid him or whatever, but still, I was just like, just shave it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Someone else is going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
And so you shaved your head off, and then from that point on, have you always had a shaved head, or did you ever try to grow it back, or you never look back?
But I remember doing it. So I think with the day I actually shaved my head, I made sure that I went home. I went and stayed at my parents that night.
Yeah.
And I got back late enough so that they were in bed.
Ah, okay.
And then when my mum came, like, I remember waking up in my bedroom and being like, right, I'm going to get my mum.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mum, can you come to my room? Like, or whatever. She opens the door and I just pop my head out looking like a stamp.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was like, oh my God. I think her genuine reaction was, you look like Jihadi John.
Oh, with the
big beard.
Yeah.
She was hella shocked, and it took her a while to get used to it.
Yeah.
But
because it is like, you know, some guys, when I decided to shave my head, I was the same. I was like, enough's enough. And that's what I try to push to people. When you finally think, okay, enough is enough, for me, the best course of action is not to look at how you can get the hair back. Like, it's over. You need to just accept. It's done, it's gone. And then it seems like such a big thing for guys to shave their head, you know. And again, I get a lot of guys asking me about it on Instagram and whatnot, and they say, you know, how should I do it? Should I go with the razor? Should I buzz it? You know, how did you get to that point? Why do you think it's such a big thing for people to shave their head, just get rid of the hair? Why is it such a big issue? Because it's just a haircut, right? It's only hair. Why do you think it's a big deal for some people?
I think it comes back to like the insecurities, thinking about not even necessarily how you view yourself, but how you think that other people view yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was something that I realised quite a while ago, and it was just kind of like, it's more in terms of like how you lead your life, and I think this is a big part of it. When you're going bald as a man, you shave your head, no one's watching every move you make.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no one is like, your friends and family or whatever, like,
no one actually cares.
Like,
yeah, it's true.
I mean?
No
like,
one actually
life
cares.
goes on.
Yeah.
Like that, and I think that was a big part of it. It's just like, if I do it or I don't do it, like I'm gonna be the one that lives with it anyway, and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna like have those not prejudices, but like what people think about me or what I think they think about me. Like they're two very different things as well.
Yeah, it's like the fear of the unknown, right?
Yeah.
Like you think, oh, everyone's going to look at me and think I look weird, but people have their own insecurities, right? That they're worried about, and no one actually cares what you look like. That's the thing. It's all in your head, and you're worrying about it.
They might make a comment on it, but like, they're not going home and thinking about it or losing sleep over it or running around telling everyone, oh, so and so shaved his head. Can you believe that? Like, no one cares.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. What about the comments? Did you get, or from that point when you shaved your head? Apart from the kind of your friends and that, a bit of banter or such.
Well, I had the banter anyway. They were like, oh, I was wondering when you were going to do it, like, and stuff like that. But
what about after on? Have you ever had anyone say like, oh, you bald so and so or whatever? Have you ever had to deal with any of that stuff?
I don't think so.
No.
But, well, definitely not from people that I don't know.
Yeah.
But even then, like, it just comes to how you take it anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's how you carry yourself.
Like,
right?
why do you care more than me?
Yeah,
like, That's what it comes down to me. If it's someone I don't know and they're like, oh, you're 25 and you're bald, I'm like, why does that bother you more than it bothers me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. I think you're right about how you carry yourself. If you give off the perception that you've accepted it, you're okay with it, you're confident about it, other people they kind of subconsciously realise that, and they know that you're not an easy target. The only time I've made videos about it before. I don't know how you feel about it, but the only time when someone will comment something negative about you is when they're dealing with something personally about themselves that they don't like, and the only way they know how to deal with it is to put you down on what they think you're insecure about, 100%. To then make them feel better about themselves. And so if you're 100% confident with it, there's no ammo, there's nothing for you, so, oh, you look stupid because you're bald, and you're like, well, I don't think so, and they don't have. There's nothing else for them to say.
And at the end of the day, that's just an opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean that you're right or wrong. Like, you're entitled to that opinion, but it's just how you receive the opinion.
Yeah. And I'd like to confirm, I've never had anyone say that to me. Like, oh, you look stupid.
No,
bald.
me neither.
Never
like,
ever.
No.
And so that's like,
it's normally me saying that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, where I was just like, oh, if I didn't have the beard, I'd look like a ball bag with teeth, or an egg or something. Like, it's me making the joke.
You got, how many friends have you got from school and whatnot that that have in the same situation, gone bald and that? Do you have many people? Because I thought, they say like, oh, by the time you're 50% of men are bald and stuff like that. And I'm in this weird, like, I know a few guys from school that are bald too, but I've actually noticed recently all of my friends still have hair, most of them.
I'm 90% sure that, well, from my close friend group from back at home, there's about 10 of us, and I'm the only one that's gone bald. There's one or two maybe that have got receding hairlines or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not on Facebook anymore.
You know what? You're just not really actively thinking about it.
Yeah,
it's just a thing.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And the thing for me as well is just like, it's their hair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, if they were to come to me and say, like, how do I deal with this? How did you deal with this? Like what we're doing, then I would happily have the conversation with them, but I'm not going to approach someone and say, like, you should shave your head. It's completely on you.
On you, yeah. No, I've made similar points, I think, because we got, like, I personally, even though I know I'm only bald here slightly, I have to shave it like every 1 or 2 days to feel comfortable. But some guys are like 2-3 weeks, they have the horseshoe, like my dad, maybe similar to your dad, and they're fine with that.
I've been there before, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've had it before where, like, my hair, like, I had like what I consider to have hair. I was like, man, this is too long, but I'm just going to the office working every day, and I just don't care what they think anyway. Yeah.
How about you got a girlfriend? Does she ever make any comments about it? Does she like it?
She likes it, man.
Yeah, she likes it.
She's never known me with hair.
Okay.
It's quite funny. And she said this to me when I said to her about I'm doing a podcast with you.
Yeah.
She said, like, you know what? I've never seen a picture of you like in between or anything. She's like, I've seen you with like hair and no beard, and then no hair and beard, and it just kind of looks like someone chinned me really hard. Just completely
and it swapped it round.
Yeah.
Love it.
She's never seen my jaw.
Yeah.
I do have a jaw.
Okay. What are some advantages you noticed personally about being bald? Yeah, let's talk about that. Do you think there's any real advantages about being bald? Apart from the obvious ones, right? It's quicker in the shower.
Yeah.
Cheaper when you do it yourself. Any others? Advantages of just getting rid of that hair?
it's a worry off your mind. You don't have to. I just don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you approached me about the podcast, I was like, I have to actually think about this. I have to actively think about it, not because I'm trying to suppress anything or anything like that. I've completely embraced it. I've been like this for years.
Same for me. And I really hope that the guys, anyone who's listening to this, can like realize that, because when you're in that position, when you're worrying about it, you never think you can get to the point where you won't ever worry about being bold, you know, where you get to a point in your life where it's just not even a thing anymore. But it's so true. Like you just shave it off, whether it's with a razor or you buzz it every few days, and that's it. You're like done with it forever, and you get on with your life. And it's such a powerful thing that I want. One
of the best things, sorry to cut you off, but I was going to forget. One of the best things about it as well is you can get as messed up on a night out as you want. Roll out of bed the next morning, you ain't got bed head. Do you know what I mean? Like, definitely. I get the beard where I've been laying on the pillow. You look like this, but like, it's cool. I love
easy.
it.
You don't worry about.
Simple.
You don't have to worry about styling it. It's just a style that you don't have to touch.
And it's classic.
Classic.
Like, it was never gonna go out of style.
Timeless. You're so right. Right. So let's wrap it up. The last thing I want to end up on is, for you personally, Dan, what is your biggest piece of advice for someone who's listening to this podcast now, who is worried about, you know, their hair falling out? They think it's the end of their existence, you know, because that's the reality for so many guys. I mean, like you said, your story's slightly different, but there's so many guys that are just, it affects their life so much, and they're looking at all these treatments and, like you said, hair transplants and all these drugs that they can take. Just give me your best piece of advice for that person who's listening.
I think the best advice I could give you is, it's kind of hard because everyone's different and everyone deals with it in a different way. But I genuinely think, like, look, reach out to someone that you trust, that you know is not going to judge you for however you feel or however you react to this happening in your life. But like, it happens to so many of us. Like, we're all in the same boat. You just got to reach out, talk to someone, embrace it as much as you can. I know it's quite easy for me to say that because I have embraced it and I've been like this for a long time. And even talking about in like retrospect how I dealt with it when I was like younger and things like that, like it's kind of just fallen into the background now. Because like it wasn't the problem I thought it was. And I think overall that the best advice I'd give someone, is just reach out to someone, whether it's us or whatever, you know, like reaching out to the page or the YouTube or whatever. We're here to help. We're here to talk about it. It's about starting a dialogue about things. It's making it not a taboo thing anymore, kind of like the mental health, because it links to that. It links to that. And it's about embracing that, not letting it be a taboo subject anymore, not letting anyone oppress you to the point where you feel like you can't talk about it. Just open up, talk about it. The worst that's going to happen is, I don't know.
Well, nothing bad's going to happen.
Nothing really. The worst thing that's going to happen is like someone's going to shave your head. Like
the bad things that you think will happen are not going to happen.
No.
And you said it there, so true about talking about it. It's such, guys, you know, traditionally, I don't know if it's the way people are brought up or whatnot. You know, I mean, I kind of feel like that a bit myself. Like I was nervous when I told my dad, you know, and I wanted to ask him advice. I was nervous when I asked some of my friends, you know, but it helps to just say it. Once you say it, it's like you've acknowledged it, and that's the first step to kind of getting over it. And like I said to you before, I was even nervous about asking you to do this podcast because I wasn't sure if you were okay with talking about it or whether it's something you felt, you know, uncomfortable to talk about.
I'm that comfortable. It's all good.
Exactly.
It really is.
Well, that's a good piece of advice. You know, just acknowledge it. Reach out to someone, whether it's me. Like I said, you can hit me up on the YouTube page, Baldcafe, or send me a message on Instagram, which is @Baldcafe. Dan, thank you so much for doing this podcast. I really appreciate it. I hope there's loads of guys out there who appreciate it as well. So that is it for the Baldcafe podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I want to thank Dan for sharing his stories, sharing his opinions. I really think it's going to be a big help for a lot of guys out there. Don't forget, we've got the next episode of the podcast coming, which is hopefully going to be with my own father. That's going to be an interesting one. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.